Hey guys, it's Luxurious here. Today I'm going to be showing you and doing a DIY that I found on YouTube and other places to make your own doll shoes very easily. Just not for brats because your dolls do have to have actual feet. And I'll never need to make brat shoes anyways, I got so many. But so sorry if you thought this might be a brats video. It's for dolls that have like feet. I'm going to be doing it on Sailor Moon dolls, for example. Basically, because the only way to get other Sailor Moon doll shoes is to basically buy like another Sailor Moon doll or be lucky enough to find a lot with a bunch of shoes. And you know, that's just not what I want to do right now. So I'm going to be making some shoes for some of my extra loose Sailor Moon dolls that I showed in my collection that don't have shoes. So yeah. Okay guys, so welcome to my little DIY testing video that I'm going to be doing live for you guys on video here. Little doll shoes. Before I decided I wanted to film this video, I definitely wanted to try out this DIY myself because I didn't want to look, you know, all embarrassed on camera, obviously, if it didn't, you know, actually work. So I tried it, and here are my shoes I made. And as you can see, it actually pretty much works. You know, it obviously doesn't look perfect, but I think it looks pretty passable for doll shoes. And this is the dress that the Sailor Jupiter is wearing. This is a Sailor Jupiter head I got years ago, and this is actually a Bondi America Sailor Moon, Sailor Venus doll body from 1995. And I always had this head, and I got this body from the Sailor Venus at a thrift store. I put the Jupiter head on it, and I didn't have any shoes. And for all of us Sailor Moon collectors out there who get like loose Sailor Moon dolls, you know, Sailor Moon dolls unfortunately can't share Barbie shoes. Their feet are quite big, at least the dolls made in North America. So I don't know about the Japan ones, but yeah, so obviously unless you get like a big lot of Sailor Moon doll shoes or just Sailor Moon doll accessories, you're not going to really have any shoes except for like, I don't know, some boots here and there. So I kind of just, sort of copied the idea from the Japanese everyday wear dolls that they came out with for the S season. I'll pop up a picture of the Jupiter there, and then I'll show you the shoes I made. So, just basic little green high heels I made, and then obviously Irwin promised everyday wear for the 2000 line, so I'll pop up a picture there. And obviously those never got released except for the Sailor Moon. So yeah, so we're kind of screwed. So unless you just want to use their Scout shoes, but I don't have any extra pairs because my other loose Sailor Jupiter doll, she's fully dressed as Sailor Jupiter, so those shoes are obviously staying on her. So I made these and I tested them out, and I'm going to be making a pair for these two dolls over here. This loose Sailor Moon doll here, I'm going to be doing a pair for her. And Irwin have a lot longer, skinnier feet than the Bondi America dolls do. So that's kind of interesting. I'm going to be making shoes for her, and then they're going to look like this. I'm going to do the same kind of shoe, just high heels. And the only materials you will need for this DIY is you will need the Scribble Pops 3D paint. This is in Shamrock Green. That is the color I used for Sailor Jupiter shoes. So you will need those. I have a pink for Sailor Moon I got, and I also got a, what is this? This is a crystal. I might possibly do little heels for Princess Serena as well. You will also need balloons, preferably these, which are like balloon animal balloons. I got these at a dollar store for $2. You can see the price there. I have the camera awkwardly set up. I'll move it around in a minute. But yeah, I got those. They're called like just twisty balloons. And then you will also need toothpicks of any variety for if you want to do a heel. If you want to just do flats, then you won't need toothpicks. But if you want to do heels, like little heels like these, you will need some toothpicks. And yeah, so hopefully these will turn out a little more decent than these ones did. These ones aren't bad. This is my first try at doing it, and I think they're kind of okay. I don't think they're the worst thing ever. So yeah, I'm gonna follow this DIY video and test out this DIY because, the thing about these, awesome doll collectors who make these DIYs is they've been doing stuff like this forever. They've been doing crafts and stuff. And so for me, I've done a few DIYs here and there, but not a lot. And so this is gonna be my first ever, do-it-yourself video of me testing this out. So yeah, I'm gonna be making shoes for this Serena doll, and it's with this little dress here, which you might have seen from my collection video. She's gonna be wearing it, so that's why I got the pink. Very manly choice for the first ones. So I'm gonna probably fast forward through some of the steps that are gonna take a little bit longer to do. Probably getting the stupid balloon on her foot, because that part's a little harder because, you know, these dolls have kind of awkward feet. So yeah, we will get started. So just take a balloon of any color. I think I will probably actually just go with pink. And what you're gonna do is you're actually gonna cut it so it's, that looks kind of funny. You're actually gonna cut it just so it's about like there. You don't need the whole balloon on there. As long as you can get the whole foot down, then you're good. You just need this little piece all the way up, as long as her feet touch the very end. Okay, so there's the first one done. So yeah, they're a little hard to put on. So now I have to go ahead and put another one on because, you know, one just isn't enough. So I'm gonna do the same kind of method, cut the balloon, and you know, put it on her freaking foot again. Let's try to get this on. You know what I just kind of thought of? I just kind of realized, why the hell did I choose pink? Because I have to put the paint on, and I hope the pink paint doesn't match these pink little balloons that much, because I'm not going to be able to see where I haven't painted. You know, this is why it's funny if I do DIY, because, you know, I don't like to think ahead, apparently. I don't like to think, oh, maybe I should just use like a yellow or an orange. No, I went with pink because I thought, hey, she's gonna have pink shoes. Why not? Yeah, this is why, you know, I do logic. Not ever. Okay, so those are finally on her freaking feet. And yeah, it didn't take actually that long, believe it or not. I really thought it was gonna take longer than that. So I actually am pretty proud of myself. Okay, so the next step we're gonna have to do is, and I actually should have done this before, is we actually have to saran wrap her hair and head. Because as you can see, Sailor Moon has a lot of freaking hair, and you know, we don't want to get pink paint in that really. So yeah, doll suffocation. Okay, so now that her hair is very securely saran wrapped, we can start and go ahead with the shoe shape now. So I'm actually going to see if I can get one of Sailor Jupiter's shoes on Sailor Moon, even though, as you can see, the Bandai America and Irwin foot mold is very different, but it would be easy if I could get this on. And I actually kind of can, surprisingly enough. It's actually not that bad. Could probably go on there a little more, but we just need a basic general shape, is what I'm saying, so I think this will do. So now what you need is a pen of some sort, and you're going to draw along the shoe line on the edge of around the shoe to basically, you know, match where you want your shoe to start, basically. So yeah, just trace around your shoe. And there you go. When that's all done, you just take the shoe off. You're also going to want to do this same exact step on the other foot. And once that's done, you just pop off the shoe again, and there you go. You have your basic outlines for your shoes on your dolly's little, I guess, socks. Bit of advice for everyone doing this at home. Open the paint before you film a video. Okay, so now we're going to start doing the first layer. Now, the video I'm watching says do a thin layer first, and you're going to be tempted to do a thick layer, but they say do a thin layer first. So I'm going to obviously follow the video I did with my last pair of shoes too. So yeah, do a very thin layer all around your outline, and don't go out of your line because, well, you're not supposed to. Okay, I also, by the way, as I'm starting this, I actually don't regret my pink sock decision. Like, I kind of, because it makes it a little harder to see the paint, but the paint's kind of a like Pepto-Bismol pink, so not like this hot fuchsia pink. Okay, my cat cannot come around here. I'm working with paint, Misty, you stay away. Ta-da! The first coat of paint is on. I probably did a little too much, like I think I did with my Jupiter too, but you know what? I'd rather have too much than too little sometimes, okay? So that is what you do first, and the tutorial also says it's okay if you see some of the balloon, because obviously you didn't do a super thick layer. Although by the looks of it, hey, la 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 la! kitty cat needs to move. Even though on mine, it looks like I did a super thick layer, but you know, I probably effed this up. But you know, it's me, so of course I did. Like I said, this is just a really regular kind of DIY. This is me just trying out a DIY. Yeah, you gotta let this sit for an hour, let it dry, and then you go on with the second layer. And that is what we're going to do. But I might also start doing 2 pairs of shoes. Maybe. I'm kind of considering. I kind of feel like it, but you know, it's so much work. So yeah, so we're gonna let this dry, and then I will come right back with the magic of editing. Alright you guys, so the hour drying time has passed, so you should be able to feel your shoe and feel no kind of stickiness or anything or any paint coming off of you. And if you can't, then it's time to go ahead and add your second layer. Now, the recommended layers is 5, but the funny thing is I actually don't remember how many I did for my first pair of shoes, so I'm going to go ahead and put on the second layer of paint. I was a bit of a daredevil there. As you can see, my saran wrap came off of Sailor Moon's freaking head, and that's the annoying thing with saran wrap a lot of the time, because it just doesn't like to stay, does it? I feel like I should like tape it, or like tape it closed, because the last thing you want is paint falling in especially blonde hair, because it will show up a lot more in blonde hair than it will, you know, in like a black or a brown hair. And now we have our second layer of paint on, as you can see. Keep your legs high up in the air so they can dry and they're facing the sky. And you're gonna let your second coat of paint sit in, and you're gonna have to wait another hour time. So yeah, this is a bit of a long process, just to let you guys know, in case it wasn't already obvious. You gotta have a bit of patience with this. So yeah, second layer of paint, and we will be back, obviously, with the magic of editing for the third layer. Alright you guys, so I don't know if it's obvious, but some time has definitely passed. I decided that I'm just gonna continue doing the few layers of paint off of camera. I just didn't think there's any point of me just keep stopping and refilming and showing you guys, you know, what happens after the hour drying time, every single layer. Because then this video would just drag on, and I didn't want that to really happen. You know, I wanted to just kind of get to the point so you guys can see how to do this, and, well, see me doing this DIY, because I didn't invent this DIY, just in case I didn't clarify that. So, yeah, okay, so hours have passed, and as you can see, I have done a few more layers on my shoes. I've done about 7, I believe, now, so I think they're almost about ready to come off. I think I might just attempt to take them off now. You can honestly keep going. You can do as many layers as you wish. I would recommend you at least do 5, though, because I would say 5 is kind of the safe point for these shoes. So here are my shoes after, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is about 7 layers of paint. I'm pretty sure I have been counting right. Imagine if I haven't been. Also, I do want to quickly show you guys, I had begun starting on Princess Serena's shoes, but as you can see, I don't know if the camera's picking up that well, this paint almost looks like glue, and it's sparkly, and it's basically kind of transparent and translucent, which I didn't know. I should have just got solid white, but I went for this crystal color, so I don't know what these are going to be like if I attempt to take them off, if they might just fall apart altogether. I have no idea. So yeah, that was kind of a doozer, but I did a few layers on there just to see if it would make it any better. So don't really know if I'm going to be focusing on those too much in this video, because that kind of really upset me. I was like, ah, damn it, I should have just gotten solid white, but no, I had to go for the fancy crystals, because I thought, you know, Princess Serena, maybe she could use something a little more fancier. And yeah, I'm sort of regretting that decision. Okay, so we are going to go on to the next step, and that is taking the shoe off to see if the shoe is even stable. My cat apparently wants to join us. Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to take this shoe off. You really gotta get under there and try to remove the shoe. And there we go, you guys. There is our little shoe. Now, as you can see, there is a bit of pen on there, but you can get that off. But overall, that is our little shoe. They're a little soft, so I could have probably put another layer of paint on, but overall, not looking too bad. They're a little rickety up here, but you can kind of, you know, hide that. And then we are going to be adding a heel on there, so I'll put that somewhere where you guys can see it. And now we're going to attempt to take the second one off. And there you go. We have gotten both shoes off. Gosh, as you can see, Irwin's dolls need a very big heel. That's why a lot of their actual, you know, Sailor Scout shoes have huge heels on them, because they do need them. And these are the two shoes. Not too bad. I have to say, I think they're actually a little nicer than my previous ones. I kind of, this time I tried to go a little bit easier on the paint, I think. Okay, so now that you got your little flats off, now yes, you could obviously definitely have the option to leave them like that, but we are going to add a heel to ours. Well, I am. And the first thing you have to do is you first have to do a little heel. And you do have to let that dry. So, and now you're going to have to put your shoes back on. Just do one at a time, sort of a thing. You know, it's funny, these are actually kind of like Irwin doll shoes because they're almost a little hard to put on. But they will definitely go on because obviously, you know, we molded them to their feet. So they will go on, as you can see. And now what you're going to do is you're going to be adding a heel to it, a small little heel. And how you're going to do that is you're going to take whatever paint you had, and this is according to the DIY video, and basically you're going to go to the edge of your doll's foot here, and you're going to put a little drop and kind of make it a little tiny heel. So you're basically going to have like a little point, but you want it to be pretty thick because it will thin down and get skinny as it dries. Oops, I'm of course not doing this very well. And you definitely want it to point up sort of like that. So your toothpick's gonna go in this little, you know, topper you're making, or whatever you want to call it. And you're gonna do the same thing on the other foot. And there you go. So now you got your little tiny heels on there. And as you can see, they're just little heels, but this is where the toothpicks come into play. What you're going to do is now you're going to let these dry. You do have to wait like an hour, and for these, because it's such thick paint, you might have to wait in like an hour plus for these to dry. So it kind of varies. So yeah, now we're going to wait for this to dry. With the magic of editing, I will be right back. What do you guys think? Should we test the Princess Serena shoes? This paint is just not what I thought it was going to be. Alright, let's try to take these off and see what happens. I have no idea what we're to expect here, if these are even going to work. Okay, wow, they actually kind of worked. I'm surprised. Look, it's kind of just like my other ones. I noticed on these shoes I did the back here a little too short, but wow, they actually work. And look, they're like clear little shoes, sparkly shoes. It's gonna look like kind of like a Cinderella-like shoe. I have to say, I am freaking genuinely surprised. I didn't think these were gonna work at all. Obviously, as you can see, I'm gonna have to clear up the pen marks. But wow, okay, maybe we'll continue and do the heel step on her too, because hers actually decided to work. I'm freaking surprised. Okay, so I will do the heel step on her as well. That was very surprising. Alright, so now that the bottom of your high heels are dry, you're going to open your toothpicks and take one out, because you are going to need one. So you're going to take your toothpick and you're going to measure it from the bottom of your heel right here on the back here, as you can see, to the bottom of your shoe. Now you have to get this leveled because you can have it too short, but you can't have it too long, because it would just be an awkward mess if you do. So we're gonna go ahead and measure this, not really correctly, but we're gonna do a bit of a guesstimate. Okay, so you got that measured, and you're just going to cut. See, you're just gonna cut the little piece of the toothpick off that you need. Okay, so now you're gonna put your heel in, and you're gonna want to make sure your toothpick is not sticking through your shoe. So you're just gonna have it in like that. It's gonna look kind of funny, but don't worry, this is only the beginning. So put your shoe back on your doll, and once you got your heel in there, you're gonna go ahead and start painting over it. Now, you're definitely going to want to do a few layers of paint on the heel, because the heel, it does take a few layers of paint for the heel to be quite sturdy, because at first it will be a little wobbly and you definitely want it to be secure. So now we're going to go ahead and you do have to do the same step on the second shoe. Alright, so now that you got the paint on both of your shoes, you do have to wait quite a bit for these ones to dry. So yeah, we will check back when the heels dry. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, here are my 3 pairs of doll shoes, all fully done and modeled here on the dolls themselves. All 3 of these were created by me. Now obviously they're not perfect, these shoes. They do have their flaws, but I think they work really well. I'm really most impressed with my pink ones I made for Serena. I think they look really good. I'm really happy with them. And then these crystal ones. So yeah, I didn't show you. I actually did end up doing the heel, and they actually ended up working kind of okay. As you can see, the orange balloon, I'm just kind of noticing now, left a little bit of residue on her legs there, her feet. I can get that off by myself. But yeah, so these are my 3 pairs of shoes, and here are Serena's all finished. I will show them up close so you can see. So yeah, you know, like I said, these shoes aren't perfect. They have their flaws. I can actually, as you can see, I can actually probably put a little bit of more pink paint on this back heel there to make it a little more sturdy. That's the thing, if you find your heels or something are a little unsturdy, just put a little bit more layers of paint and you will find that you can probably get a good feel. And then these are the ones I made before I filmed the video. I think I got a little bit better. Not that better, but I think I got a little bit neater with them as the video went along. But you know what? These shoes aren't perfect. They're not made to be perfect. They are made with just paint. I'm sure you can find some other ways to make some doll shoes a little better if you wanted to. That uses more material. It might be a little more work, especially if you're experienced. But if you haven't made a lot of doll things or you're not that familiar with it all, I think this is a great start. I think these shoes look great. They're easy to make. You know, they do take a bit of time with waiting, but they're simple, and you know, they're a good fill, especially if you're just waiting to get some better shoes for your loose doll. You know, I wouldn't maybe make these for a really favorite doll of yours, but if you're like me and if you have these extra loose dolls or heads or bodies just around and you want to make them wear something and have some shoes, I'd say go for it. I'd say give these shoes a whirl. I think they're really easy to make, and yeah, just give it a shot because you never know. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope I helped, and I hope you enjoyed me trying out this DIY. And hopefully you guys followed along, and maybe you guys made some doll shoes too for your loose dolls. So yeah. There you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you learned something and you can see that if I can do it, you can do it. So yeah, make sure to subscribe. Check out all my social media. I'm very chatty on there, and I post updates and stuff on like dolls and everything like that, and other toys and gaming, all the stuff I do basically. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and thank you very much for subscribing and checking out my videos. So yeah, thanks guys.